dear UPSC aspirants, welcome to Gallant IAS. First of all, I wish you all a very happy and enjoyable prelims preparation days ahead. Yes, of course you have to enjoy your preparation, otherwise it will be feeling like a burden for you. Now, every year, when you appear for the prelims examination, before opening the question booklet, you are very happy. You have that full confidence that I prepared all this year and I will deliver the wonder. When you open the booklet and on seeing the first question, you lose 10% of your confidence. But still you feel that, yes, I will solve the second one. Second one also seems a bit difficult. You lose your 20% confidence. Then the third question, fourth question, fifth question. Maybe the first 10 questions can be the most strange questions you ever seen. Maybe you never studied such a topic, such questions in your 1 year preparation. देन आपको ऐसा लग जाता है कि इससे और बेहतरीन तक कई खेत में जाकर आलू लगाना. कभी ऐसा भी हो जाता है. You lose your total confidence on seeing the first 10 questions. But one thing you should realize that UPSC is always like this. They ask the first 10 or 20 questions, the most strangest, difficult questions. But after 20, rest of 80 questions are there. Even if you are able to answer either 50 or 60 questions aptly, correctly, you are in. So don't ever lose your confidence. Stay always confident and be positive. And obviously, you will have to practice previous year's questions, UPSC standard model questions in every core subjects. I would say history, economy, geography, polity, environmental science and current affairs. All these are core subjects and you must practice previous year's questions. Practice of the previous year's questions will make you strong in each subject. When you practice the previous year's questions, you will understand what is that trend of UPSC or that changing pattern of UPSC. It will help you to understand which area you are stronger, in which area you are weaker. That understanding is also very important. You should know where you are strong, where you are weak. Also, that will help you to apply your UPSC, your thought process into UPSC line. Sometimes you predict some answers, but when you see the UPSC answer key, that is totally opposite of your thought. So you have to apply your thought processing according to UPSC demand. So that self-assessment or building up your analytical skills, understanding the demand of UPSC, understanding the demand of this pattern, all things are possible, yes, if you practice the previous year's questions. So practice of previous year's questions, that is a very must for you. And here, let me show you some questions. This is our prelims booster rounds and we will be definitely having a good number of question solving in our prelims booster round. You will get all these core subjects, prelims boosters for all your core subjects. Here I'm beginning with history. Okay, history, and this is modern India. Understand modern India, that is very important area in your entire history. Modern India, ancient India, medieval India, art and culture, all these portions are important. Let's see the first question. Who of the following was or were economic critic or critics of colonialism in India? 2015 question. Who of the following was or were economic critic of colonialism in India? So there is a topic which is obviously the colonialism. British colonialism, the causes or major events of this colonialism, major implications of this colonialism, Indian economists, Indian leaders, and their opinions on this impact of British colonialism. So there should be a very good understanding of this colonial India or British colonial policies or British colonial reforms and the impact or implications of the colonialism or colonial policies. Okay. So here the question is asking about economic critique of colonialism in India. Dadabhai Naoroji, G. Subramanya Iyer, R.C. Dutt. All these are the popular Indian economic critiques on this British colonialism. Dadabhai Naoroji, his popular work is Yes, Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. So according to him, the biggest tragedy is the British looting the wealth of the nation in multiple ways, but they never spent even a penny of the money they loot from India for the welfare of Indians. Okay, loot of the money, that is in the form of the salaries, pensions, incentives, or the interest for the British capital investment in India, or it is in the form of this raw material for the cheaper prices, or it is free trade, or it is like what is called these war expenditures, home charges. In multiple ways they loot the wealth of the nation, but not even a single penny they spend for the welfare of the nation. Okay, so you take care, all these are the major economic critics of colonialism in India. The most effective contribution made by Dadabhai Naoroji to the cause of Indian national movement, exposed to the economic exploitation of Indian by the British, interrupted this ancient Indian trust and restored the self-confidence of Indian, stressed the need for eradication of all the social evils before anything else. So here your answer has to be exposed to the economic exploitation of this Indian by the British. The question asking the most effective contribution. The most effective contribution made by Dadabhai Naoroji to the cause of Indian national movement. Obviously that was exposed to the economic exploitation of Indian by the British. So Dadabhai Naoroji belonging to the moderate phase of Indian national movement, and the moderate leaders or moderate phase, the biggest contribution was they exposed to this economic weakness of India, or this how the British loot these economic resources of India. Okay, that generated economic nationalism. So generation of awareness of, or generating that awareness of economic nationalism, that was the biggest contribution of these moderate leaders of India. Okay. So his contribution one only. During Indian freedom struggle, National Social Conference was formed. What was the reason for its formation? All these are previous year's questions. I always say, all of you practice, don't be overconfident, don't go for overestimations and underestimations. Practice the questions. And I would say, history is such a subject that this is pakka static, and if you check the past 30 years questions, there are so many questions repeated in the history, so many areas repeated like anything. Okay, so a good practice of the previous year's questions will help you to understand what to be studied, what not to be studied, how to apply the elimination, how to apply this logic, etc. You will get a better understanding. Also, you will get an idea what is required from UPSC point of view, what is not required from UPSC point of view. It will also help you to understand that changing trend in this pattern of UPSC questions. Okay. National Social Conference. In the context of freedom struggle, what was the role of this National Social Conference? Yes, different social reform groups or organizations of Bengal region united to form a single body. So this is National Social Conference. This is not a regional social conference. Indian National Congress did not want to include social reforms in its deliberations, decided to form a separate body for much a purpose. Baramchi Malabari M.G. Ranade decided to bring together all the social reforms groups of the country under one organization. Which of the, none of the statements ABC given above is correct in this context. So here you should understand, National Social Conference, it was, obviously this was a social reform branch of, or a wing of Indian National Congress. When Indian National Congress was formed, yes, it was a pure political organization. No religious issues, social issues would be discussed in this Indian National Congress. So for enabling such a social reforms, you should understand, Indian National Congress did not want to include social reforms in its deliberations, decided to form a separate body for much a purpose. So obviously, this is something This is a socio-religious reform wing of Indian National Congress, because in Indian National Congress there is no scope for social. I mean, when it is founded, they said it is a pure political organization, and social reforms has to be, yes, that should be in a separate wing. So it was a separate wing of Indian National Congress. Okay. So Bombay is your answer for social reforms. In the context of Indian freedom struggle, 16 October 1905, yes, is well known for which of the following reasons? You know, that is Swadeshi. That is Swadeshi movement, or that is Swadeshi means this Bengal partition. Okay, partition of Bengal took effect on that day. Anti-Bengal partition movement started. Eventually, it climaxed as the Swadeshi movement. So, Bengal partition took effect on 16th October 1905. Which one of the following defines extremist ideology during the early phase of Indian freedom movement? Stimulating the productions of indigenous articles by giving them preference over imported communities, obtaining self-government by aggressive means in place of petitions and constitutional ways, providing national education according to the requirements of the country, organizing coups against the British Empire, the military revolt. All of you, please do one thing. Please do subscribe this channel, okay, for more videos and for boosting your prelims preparations for 2020. This question, which one among the following defines extremist ideology during the early phase of Indian freedom movement? Okay, here you see, this is about extremist ideology. Stimulating production of indigenous articles by giving them preference over imported communities, obtaining self-government by aggressive means in place of petitions and constitutional ways. Exactly. You know, moderate phase, obviously they had moderate demands only. Constitutional methods of agitation, prayer, petition, protest method they applied. But when it comes to extremist, you see, they started demanding for self-government, and that is through extra constitutional methods, that is passive resistance, non-cooperation, etc. So Bombay is your answer. What was the reason for the split in the Indian National Congress in Surat 1907? Major events are there. You have to study it like a story, yeah. Okay, a split happened, a fight happened here. Okay, and fight is because of, yes, ideological differences, moderate and extremist ideological differences that caused a split in 1907 Surat session. Okay. Yes, extremist lack of faith in the capacity of moderates to negotiate with the British government. That was the major reason for the Surat split in 1907. Then again, these moderates and extremists, they reunited. That was in the Lucknow session of the Congress 1916. Swadeshi boycott were adopted as methods of struggle for the first time during the agitation against the partition of Bengal, Home Rule League movement, non-cooperation movement, visit of the Simon Commission. You can see as early as, yes, Swadeshi movement. You can see Swadeshi boycott, they were adopted as methods of struggle for the first time during this agitation against the partition of Bengal, 1905 Bengal partition. After that, anti-Bengal partition movement, Swadeshi movement, in which for the first time, Swadeshi and boycotts were adopted. Okay. And that's it. Stay tuned for more videos. These prelims booster rounds from ancient, medieval, modern art and culture. And any of you wish to join the courses, capsule courses for modern, ancient, because there are cases like sometimes you are strong in ancient, medieval, modern or art and culture. Sometimes you are weak in some areas also. So the courses are available, and you can just enroll now for the demo sessions. Then this is again my suggestion and my advice to all of you, especially the freshers. You should have a good number of revision rounds. Just practice the previous year's questions in every core subjects. Okay, make yourself strong in every core subjects and try to understand what is demand of UPSC in the prelims examination. Okay, thank you.